Hey, welcome to the first digitally overwhelmed episode of 2022. I am so excited to have you here. This has been such an incredible just couple of months, and I'm super excited to announce this new pivot, this new it's not a crazy direction I'm going in, but about 4 years ago, I decided that I really wanted to help health and wellness businesses. I was really passionate about this type of business, and I personally just experienced so much well-being and so much support from just different practitioners and doctors and just all sorts of online businesses that have helped me my own journey. And I just decided that I really wanted to zone in on therapists and counselors because mental health has always been something I've been curious about, always been something that has kind of fascinated me. And it has also just personally been a big part of my life. I wanted to just talk about that in this episode, basically. So if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Cynthia. I'm the owner of Digital Bloom IQ. The podcast is called Digitally Overwhelmed. And I specifically help therapists and counselors grow their businesses through search marketing. And this is episode 221, first episode of 2022, like I mentioned. And I'm just going to be getting kind of honest. This is going to be a really loose episode. I have a few episodes coming out in the next few months that are very specifically targeted for therapists and counselors who are wanting to get some clarity around their SEO and their search marketing. But this episode, just to kick off the year, I wanted to just be a little more personal, a little more loose. And I love doing these episodes once in a while because it allows us to get to know each other a little more. Just to hear a little bit about my story. All right, so I'm going to just talk about, why therapists and counselors, why was this something that just kind of came to me actually very clearly. I think it's been kind of bubbling and cooking for the last 6 months or so, but it just really came to me clearly in November that I wanted to just get really clear about the type of business I want to help. And there's so many health and wellness industries, right? So you've got your holistics, you've got your physical practitioners like acupuncturists, that sort of thing. You've got your product-based businesses, right? And of course, when we're looking at health, there's so many areas, right? And people are really, right now, I think is a special time because people are wanting to learn how to take better care of themselves. They're wanting to learn how to just be more loving to themselves. And so all this industry is important. It's important work right now. But to me, mental health is one area that really still doesn't get talked about a lot. We're just starting to scrape the surface of what it means to be aware of our thoughts, be aware of our mind, and take ownership of that, right? And there's a real shift in the world happening right now where people are wanting to just become more aware of their thoughts and their actions and everything there, right? And so, of course, mental health is still very new in many ways, right? If we compare it to the other health practices and that sort of thing. So to me, one of the reasons that I really wanted to hone in on therapists and counselors specifically is that I still don't feel it gets talked about a lot. And so when we think about how people are searching in Google, people are asking questions. They want to know about, OCD. They want to know about their anxiety. They want to know about, addictions and stuff like that. And they want information from people who are really trained. They want to make sure that they're talking with people who know what they're talking about, and they want to be able to do it from the comfort of their home initially, to be able to just understand, right? We all want to understand when something's happening in our lives. For many of us, getting answers and getting information is such a balm of soothing energy. So that to me was very clear. It was very clear that this is a special time. This is a time where this is especially needed. and that it's still kind of something that there's a lot of shame and there's a lot of just not really clarity, right? The other reason, which I kind of mentioned already, is that people are using Google to search for information about their mental health. Like I mentioned, it's just so comfortable, the way we use our phones. We're in the middle of the night, we're maybe obsessing about something or thinking about something, either something in our lives or something that's happening to a loved one in our lives or a family member. And we want to get answers. So we open up our phones and we search, we use Google. And I know that there's a lot of, I'm actually planning on doing an episode talking specifically how mental health searches are different than other searches and things to think about, because I know a lot of people don't want to go to Google because maybe it gives them too much information or they get overwhelmed. But I actually believe that Google empowers us to take action. And yes, there is a lot of information on the internet that's wrong, but I think in the last few years, Google has done a really good job at deciphering who is the real professional and who is, just a not reliable source. And I'm going to be talking more about this in that episode, because it's really important to make sure that we're showing our authority, we're showing our licensing, we're showing, okay, we are professional, and this is why we've studied all these years. So this is a part of an SEO strategy, and we need to be really clear with people of like why it's safe to trust us, why it's safe to hire us, and kind of like the credentials that go behind that. So to me, it was just very clear, because I know I've searched for things on Google that are mental health related, and it's been helpful. And I know there are a lot of people around me, whether it's a direct search looking for a therapist or looking for a counselor in my area, or if it's more of like an informational search where I want to understand more about something that's happening and, why. And the clients I've worked with, the articles that they write are just so useful. And so to be able to give that to people who are looking for that is such a satisfying feeling, right? So there's someone asking a question and they are willing to learn about this stuff. And it's our job to get that information to them, to show them that information. And it's just so exciting. And then the last thing, I wanted to mention is, and maybe some of you have already guessed this, is that mental health, my own mental health journey has just really been something I've committed to over the years. Again, in-person therapy, online therapy, getting information, getting articles. I'm just so grateful for all the professionals out there who spend the time to create these resources. And so to me, being able to help these types of businesses specifically grow and help more people is so clear, because it's been such a big impact on my life. And there have been, other areas. I'm going to do another episode about chronic illness. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, and so I want to share that. But even within that, chronic illness, there's so many mental health challenges that come up. And so it feels like everybody needs this, whether you are just in a stressful time in your life, or you have like a physical condition and there's all the mental stuff that goes in it, or you just are frustrated with, goals in your life or, your career. And so having someone listen, having a professional listener can completely change your life, basically. And so again, to me, it was just like very personal. It was very like, okay, I want to help these businesses. And I do also want to mention that starting this year, I'm building on my team, which is really exciting. The business has grown in many ways. Some of you might have been following me for a while now. And so this is also something that really also impacted my kind of trajectory as a business, is thinking about how my team is also supporting these other businesses. So me and my team are really excited to help you, to support you with your marketing, with your SEO. And I just invite you to, whether you're new in my world or you've been around for a while, is just take it in baby steps. There's a lot of information out there. I have tons of resources on my website, but you don't need to do it all at once. Take one thing that you can implement, that you can get started with, or that your team can help you with, and start today. And I think that's going to make the biggest difference, instead of trying to get it perfect all at once. Of course, if you want to check out our done for you services, you can do that at digitalbloomiq.com. So we have both done for you SEO and an SEO course, which is amazing. It's been just such an honor to also be able to teach you how to take ownership of your own SEO in a non-overwhelming fashion. And so you can check out, again, both those things on my website, digitalbloomiq.com. And the last thing I want to mention is I do have something brand new that I've kind of had in my back pocket for a while. But if you are kind of thinking about the done for you services, but you're not sure, and you just need more clarity of like, what do I need to focus on yet? I'm not really sure if I'm ready to hire someone. I have some SEO discovery calls. So what these are one-to-one calls with me and with you and us. Sometimes I'm on the phone, sometimes my team's on the phone, and we basically give you kind of a plan specifically catered to your SEO goals and your business goals. So this is a call where we talk about your keywords, we talk about your website, and we give you some specific areas to look at, so that you can walk away with an action plan. So this is, again, this is great if you're just not sure even where to start, or if you're like looking at different options for what to invest in next for your marketing. It can be just a clarifier, and it can help you just get clarity of like, what do I need to do next? So you can get on our calendar by going to digitalbloomiq.com/discovery. There's a form there. So you need to first fill out the form. We want to make sure you're in the right place to be investing in search marketing right now. And after that, you'll get access. You'll be able to schedule a call, and we'll be able to chat about your specific SEO next steps. All right, my friends, it's been such an honor. I am so excited for 2022. Please, take time to subscribe and rate this podcast if you found it helpful, and have a great day. And I will catch you next week on the Digitally Overwhelmed podcast. Bye.